If you ever want to create a DAO on the Cardano ecosystem, this is probably the best way to do it. Clarity are launching their full smart contract platform at the end of the month now, and it's really, really neat. You can do everything that you need to do, from polls, proposals, all of that jazz that you normally would expect in a DAO, but now it's all managed by smart contracts. Really cool what the guys have built, and we're finally at the point where we're launching the complete solution. Now, if you want to learn more about the token launch and everything else behind the platform, I'll put links in the show notes down below for you guys so you can learn a little bit more. Please do your research before getting into anything like this. I'm not paid by the team for any of this. I think it's just a really good platform to use, especially if you're not a coder and you want a really cheap solution to get up and running for your decentralized autonomous organization. Let's get into it. Logan, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I know it's early. We've got quite a bit of a time difference, but it's always a pleasure to get in touch. And thank you for letting us use your platform to share what we're building and how communities on Cardano can use it.
And you guys certainly have been growing that platform. And I was playing around with it the other day, and I recognize so many names and other organizations on there now as well that have signed up using the platform and driving their communities through it and using your DAO tooling on there, which is absolutely brilliant. So since I had you guys first on the podcast, you're still building, you're still writing the smart contracts, and here you are now. All of that's deployed. It's all working as it should be, with communities building up their decentralized organizations. Can we talk through that a little bit and see how the last year or so has been since launch?
Yeah, man. It's been a journey. I mean, one thing that we realized is, this is core infrastructure for the Cardano ecosystem, but it's not easy to build, right? So if a project wanted to build their own decentralized governance and treasury management system, it would take a lot of very talented technical people to do it. You'd have to get it audited. You have to go through all the testing. So really we were like, look, me personally, I was like, I have all these DAO ideas. I have, 5 friends in the Cardano ecosystem that have all these DAO ideas. So why don't we make it easy to make these real? Go from idea to DAO without having to understand Plutus and pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to developers and auditing firms. So that was really our mission from the get-go when we started a few years ago. The journey's been full of ups and downs, as it is in a bear market, right? But we're so thankful to the community that's come around the protocol, and all these different DAOs, Tokenized, Genius, a few other ones in the pipeline, and all those. The Alien DAO, they pop up every day now. So it's really exciting to see that the tools we're building are really helping projects realize their dreams. So, like I said, it's been a journey, man.
Yeah, and I think we should explain to users what some of these tools can actually do. And I didn't realize that it could go down to the point where it could manage a project's treasury and release funds through the voting mechanisms. And I thought, whoa, hang on, I better not put up a vote that will, be damaging to the community. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So really, what Clarity is it is a protocol or a platform that you can use to create a decentralized organization, manage a decentralized community, and manage governance over a treasury. Now, on the Clarity platform, which we'll go through, there's a lot of different tools that you can leverage as a community. Some of them are like Web 2.5 things, where it's not completely on chain, but they're very effective ways to gather community sentiment, potentially before you go to this on chain vote that will automatically execute, governing a treasury. But yeah, we'll get into all of it. But really, we're just trying to make it easy to operate a decentralized community on top of Cardano.
Yeah, let's go through the platform then. I know you want to show me through some of the core aspects, and you've got some media as well. So show me what you got.
Yeah, absolutely. This is our vision video. So, why we're doing this, why we're so passionate about it, why we care about DAOs.
In today's world, trust in institutions is at an all-time low. Powerful corporations and unelected regulators are increasingly making decisions with no say by the people affected. With this realization, A movement has formed around blockchain because of the fair and transparent community and decision-making systems it creates. We are in a defining moment in human history where we can continue to let centralized powers become more powerful or pull some of the control back into the hands of the people. The time is now for communities to build better systems that ensure control by the people and for the people. Introducing Clarity, a platform to create and manage any entity using transparent decision-making frameworks enforced by code. Clarity makes it easy to create and manage decentralized autonomous organizations, also called DAOs, where stakeholder consent is required before making important decisions. Stakeholders' decisions are made collaboratively and executed automatically, completely removing the need to trust someone to act on the community's behalf. Clarity provides organizations and entities of any size all of the tools needed to create and fine-tune their DAO for any use case through an easy-to-use interface. Join us as we build a future where the many outweigh the few.
So yeah, man, that's what we're all about. Like we see this like systemic problem in the world where these like these small groups of people are making decisions that affect an outsized amount of people, and we believe that blockchain and DAOs are the way to create these transparent decision-making structures and all different types of use cases and embed them into society. So that's why we do what we do. But I'm happy to kind of jump into the platform and we can talk through, all the different things that you can do on it and how we think about things.
Yeah, I have had a good play around with it, but yeah, let's show everyone else what the platform's capable of and what they can do with their own communities.
The main thing, you come to the DAO dashboard and you can see all of these different, communities that are popping up on the platform doing some governance and community management on it. And the first thing you really have to do is create an organization. Now, one thing to preface before we create this organization is that this is like a Web 2.5 organization. This is not one where you create proposals and it automatically executes. I'm going to show what that looks like on our testnet version. We're pushing it to mainnet at the end of the month, actually. So yeah, when you create your Web 2.5 organization, you put in Cardano, learn Cardano pod. You would put in the description of it. You can put in the logo, you can put in all your different social links, whatever it is you have, and then you get to control how decentralized your organization is. And I think one thing to understand is that in the early stages of a DAO, centralization is not necessarily the enemy. It has to be centralized at the beginning because there has to be someone driving the project forward on it all the time, making sure that proposals are the ones that should actually be voted on, things like that. So you can control who can create polls and bounties. So members with at least 0, 5, 500, whatever you want to do it. If you want to centralize it further, you can click only admins. But say in this situation, members with at least 5 voting power can create the governance actions. But we also want to have this check where we require admins to approve it before it goes live. So let's say we need 2 admins to approve it and they have 7 days to approve it when someone submits it. And then the last thing you can do here is put in your governance token. So here, these are all the tokens I have in my wallet. I swear I'm not a degen, but this is the token allies token. So DVC, it's going to be 1 token, 1 vote. I could make it 1 token, 5 votes, whatever it is. And then I could have it calculated on a linear or quadratic scale. What quadratic scale means is that it takes the square root of one's voting power. And the purpose of this is to lessen the impact of whales on the governance actions. Yeah, then you click add. You can actually have multiple tokens as well within these flexible kind of Web 2.5 organizations. Click continue, sign a transaction. It's a free thing to do right now on the Clarity platform. So you can get started for free and implement governance around your token. Now, once you have your DAO made, you get met with kind of your dashboard here. So what you can see is, you can see all your decentralization settings, what tokens are used as governance assets. You can see your voting power. So what's happening in the background is there's a chain indexer that's just constantly reading the chain, and it knows, this wallet holds this asset, this wallet holds this asset, and it knows, okay, that asset means 1 vote in this organization, and it assigns you your voting power. So here you have 2 different types of governance action, polls and bounties. So they're very similar. There's just one key difference. Polls is when you have a predefined set of options for the community to vote on. So, maybe it's a deck saying, hey, what token should we list next? Here's the 4 options. Or it's like hey, should we donate to charity? Yes or no? Those are the predefined options. Now, a bounty is different because this is a tool for crowdsourcing ideas from your community. So, for example, we have this community feature brainstorm. So we come in here, our community, they were able to input these and to be voted on. So they want a discussion forum, they want platform-wide incentives, they want a Twitter integration. So you can really crowdsource ideas from your community with those actions. Example of a poll. We have this ETH Denver prize giveaway right now. Really, we're just going to raffle off 2 of these prizes. So if you cast a vote in this, you're able to enter the raffle for the prize. Seems like everyone wants hardware wallets here, which is pretty funny. And then we have the community management system, the community incentivization system that comes with building an organization on Clarity as well. So you have these leaderboards, right? These are the most active people ever in the Clarity DAO. So they get all these points. And then you have time-boxed competition. So this one's running from the 7th of February to the 6th of March. 4,000 ADA is going to be split between the top 8. Our DAO actually voted for that structure. So it's like a time-boxed leaderboard as well, like a community competition. So that begs the question, how do you get points? Why do points matter? So one way to get points is through referrals. So you can refer people to the platform. You can refer people. You get a lot of points if you refer someone who creates an organization as well. The other way is participating in governance. So you get points when you cast votes. You get points when you submit a bounty submission, things like that. And then you can create incentives, which give points. And these can be really anything. So if you subscribe to Clarity on YouTube, you get 100 points. If you follow us on Medium, you get 100 points. If you interact with our testnet, you get 200 points. If you interact with this specific tweet, you get 100 points. If you create a YouTube tutorial of the Clarity platform that gets 200 likes, you get 2,000 points. So you can really create whatever incentives you want. And then on the admin side of things, you get your admin dashboard where you can always edit any of this stuff. So you can update your decentralization settings, you can update your snapshot token power, you can add other admins to your organization. And then here, this is how it looks right now. It's a pretty manual process to approve point system, approve the points. So attend the Clarity and Cardano Foundation event. So we were just on Let's Talk Cardano this morning. So we made it so that you got 300 points if you came and hung out with us. So what happens is I can scroll down, I see, okay, this person, they submitted a screenshot and they were there. So I can approve this, and then that gives them the points on the leaderboard. Or if it's bad proof, I can say X, it doesn't give them. So that's how the incentive system works on Clarity. And then the other part is the rewards. So I guess I'll click back here. So once you have these points, what can you do with them, right? Are they just magic points that you can't do anything with? So we have an integration with InMaker where you can automatically redeem them for NFTs. Or if I wanted to, I could make a Clarity hoodie available for redemption. So if you get 10,000 points, you can redeem a Clarity hoodie. Really anything. So yeah, you can configure all your rewards, go through all these different incentives, approve them, create your competitions. If I wanted to add a Clarity hoodie here, I just put it in. I'd say it's 10,000 points, whatever you want. I would say people email me, and then this would be an email reward type. I would add it. Yeah, that's how it works. So that's pretty much the high level of all the Web 2.5 organization type of functionality. So I'll pause there before I really go into the big release we have coming, which is these on-chain treasuries with automatically executing proposals, all enforced by smart contracts.
Yeah, this is all pretty exciting for anyone that wants to run and have their DAO, especially through your platform. Is there a way to, how do we connect a testnet version of it so we can see and play around with it without committing a proper organization that appears on the website?
Yeah, so testnet.clarity.vote. That's what it is. Here it is. But yeah, that's where this is right now. It has all of the functionality that the mainnet deployment has. You can mint like T Clarity, which is like just test governance tokens on there as well. And that has all the functionality of mainnet plus the Agora functionality live on testnet as well. So we've been running it on testnet for about 4 months now, making sure that it's all good and ready for mainnet. That's been a heck of a process for sure. So yeah, testnet.clarity.vote. But what I'll jump into now is just showing you how you actually go from zero to on-chain treasury with smart contracts governing it and everything right here. So this button right here that says launch an Agora DAO, what's wrapped up under this button is actually insane. It is a audited set of open source Plutus scripts that manage a treasury with governance rules. So I'll show you what it looks like. So really what you're doing right now is you're building your DAO smart contracts. So you choose your governance token. In version 1 of Agora, it has to be a fungible token. That's just how the system works, how the smart contracts accept it. And then you get to set your smart contract enforced threshold. So this is how much of the token must back a proposal in order for it to automatically execute. And then this one is how much of a token must you stake to the DAO in order to have the power to create a proposal? How much of the token must you stake to the DAO in order to have the power to vote? And then you maximum proposals per stake. I would usually make that like 10 or something. And then the last thing that's enforced by smart contracts here is the draft period, voting period, locking period. So how long is it in the draft period? How long do people have to vote? How long is the locking period? And then what you do is you click submit, you end up signing a handful of transactions to put all of your governance and information on chain. And that's how you create a DAO. So once you create your DAO, I'll just go to one that's already deployed. You get to see all of your Agora governance settings. So you see your policy ID, you see your treasury address, you see your governor smart contract, you can see all the different thresholds, the different timings, you can see what's in the treasury. So right now we have 1000 ADA in the treasury here. And really these two different governance mechanisms, they're meant to stack on top of each other. You don't need an on-chain vote for everything. If you're trying to brainstorm feature ideas, you don't need an on-chain vote. If you're trying to decide on a Twitter logo, you don't need an on-chain vote. But if you're making a funding decision or something like that, you might want to have like a temperature check with that snapshot voting before you send it to a treasury spin proposal. So yeah, you can see my Agora voting power because I have 5 of these tokens staked to this DAO. And then you see my snapshot. And then what you see here is poll, bounty, and proposal. So this proposal button is new, right? So this brings you to the ability to build these automatically executing proposals that if it hits that execution threshold, it automatically goes. So let's say we want to donate to charity. And then we have a treasury spin proposal, update governance parameters, a no effect proposal. So the goal is to keep adding to this list, make DAO treasuries robust as possible. We're working on treasury swaps. We're working on staking treasury assets. So really the ability for DAO treasuries to participate in DeFi is a big goal for us. The ability to, be able to delegate DAO assets to DREPs as well, things like that. So yeah, if we want to create one of these automatically executing effects to spend treasury funds, you just fill this out. So we have ADA in the treasury. We want to send 100 of it out. We want it to go to this wallet, and I'll use this stake to create it. Click submit, sign a transaction, and then that sends out this automatically executing proposal to your community. But yeah, that's pretty much the rundown of everything.
It's looking pretty good, and I did and have been playing around with it for the last few days to get my head around it and see what you guys have done. Now, there's a couple of questions that I did have when playing around with it, and you kind of explained it just then as well. But that treasury address, there won't be any funds in that, and I have to fund it. So all I need to do is send assets to that address. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah. You just have to, it's just the script address that you can send it to.
Yeah, and then anything that we were creating, such as those proposals, will be able to access those funds and release those funds. Is that done by like multi-sig wallets or something? Like, I'm trying to understand it, or is it purely all smart contracts?
It's purely all smart contracts. So multi-sigs are a great tool for decentralized communities, but we kind of, our focus was to get Agora ready before multi-sigs. There's already open source multi-sigs available in Cardano and they're great. But this is all smart contract based. So the only way to access this treasury, good or bad thing, I think it's good if you get it right, is through a community wide vote. So that stuff is in the treasury unless the community reaches that execution threshold.
Okay. Now that was one of the scary things that
Yeah.
I thought about the platform. If you put in a proposal or someone submits a proposal from the community that was self interest, I think, but they had enough DAO tokens to actually execute it and then vote for themselves, or they got a buddy to vote for it as well. There could be ways that people manipulate it, but you kind of explained it through that, let's have some snapshots before, let's
Mhm.
try and work through it so that we only get good ones through. Are there any type of mechanisms that can protect the treasuries from those malicious actors?
Yeah, the biggest thing is making sure you think about your tokenomics before you launch your DAO.
Mm,
And yeah, I mean you're never going to be able to completely avoid the risk of a social attack, but it's just
yeah.
something that you have to understand. Okay, this is where the tokens are going to be. These are the people that have a lot of the tokens. Which way they're going to vote? Are they good actors? Are they bad actors? There's a lot of dynamics that you have to think through for sure. Um, but yeah, I mean, you get to say, how much of the token do you have to create a proposal, for example. So you could make it so you have to be a pretty big stakeholder in the DAO in order to do that. I think that's what people are talking through with the Age of Voltaire right now. Should you have to hold 100,000 ADA in order to create a proposal? Like the same thing we're thinking about right now on this call is what Cardano has to think about as we move into the Age of Voltaire of like, how do we make sure proposals are high quality? No one's just going to drain the treasury for their personal gain. Um, but yeah, there's a lot to think through there.
It's not easy. This
No.
whole governance side of things is definitely not easy. And I like how you mentioned, like a little bit earlier there, you really got to think through your tokenomics and how you distribute those tokens, rewarding your really active users that are part of the community and trying to grow it. So it's so important. So many things to think about when creating a on-chain community like this. But having clarity there and to provide those tools and now having it all in smart contracts is absolutely brilliant. So what is the launch date for this? When would we see Agora and all those smart contracts online so communities can start building on top of it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be before the end of March. We've kind of been sitting on it for a while now, waiting for the right time. And when we do launch the Agora, we are actually going to have the protocol controlled by an Agora DAO. So we're going to have the Clarity token launch, which will trigger the creation of the Clarity DAO. This DAO is going to control the protocol fees. It's going to control the emissions of the different rewards buckets we have. There's a whole lot of thinking that has gone into it, but we're gonna by the end of March. That's what we've been set on for a few months now. The product is ready. It's there. The core infrastructure has been audited, and we're working through kind of the liquidity bootstrapping events with Sunday Swap as well. So it's coming soon.
All right, pretty exciting. My last question here for communities that are interested in using it: is there a cost into using all this? You guys got infrastructure to run, you got the website interface and all those things, and smart contracts cost money to build. What is the cost to communities and organizations for running and using the platform?
Yeah, so it's free to get started. And then once you kind of level up your organization and you're really getting value out of the tool, that's when we start to charge. So there's kind of two buckets. So one is that like the first kind of module I showed you, like the Web 2.5 organizations, that's free to start. And then as you level up, so say you want to build more or create more incentives, have more governance actions. Like the free version is like you get a few governance actions, you get a few incentives a month. And then if you want to level that up because you're getting value out of it, you can start paying a monthly subscription. It's really a kind of a SaaS product. Now with all that on-chain stuff, the business model changes because that is all the on-chain stuff is governed by the DAO. So the DAO is going to decide, we're not going to decide, the DAO is going to decide how much does it cost to create an Agora DAO? How much does it cost to cast an on-chain vote? How much does it cost to stake and unstake within Agora DAOs? How much does it cost to create proposals? And then all of that revenue will feed the Clarity DAO treasury, which will be a very interesting experiment. And we built these tools. We're going to use them too, and we're excited to kind of hopefully blaze the trail for on-chain organizations on Cardano.
Wow, this is going to be really interesting. So I'm looking forward to this. So this I'm assuming is all going to be powered by the Clarity token. So as part of this liquidity bootstrapping event that people go through, they will need to get these tokens and to be able to use the platform as well. So it's probably, if you're thinking about it, it's probably a good idea to try and get these tokens as cheaply as possible during an LBE. That's usually when they're most cheapest.
Yeah, and then we have a lot of cool kind of incentive structures to distribute the token in the proper way, right? We talked about this. Like you got to decide, who are you gonna drip your tokens to? Who's gonna become the most prominent people in the ecosystem? So obviously you have some of the team, you have ecosystem partners, and then there's like I think 35% is going into the treasury, and then like another 30% is dedicated to the rewards program, and these rewards will get dripped out to platform users. So on the Clarity platform, that there's that point system. It automatically tracks, who's using it the most, and then every month you'll be dripped out for platform activity. And then the other part is just rewards for staking and participating in governance. So the people who use the platform, the people who stake and participate in governance, and then also the LP providers will all be incentivized by the token. That's how we're thinking about it first. It's a DAO, right? So we can always vote to change things. But hopefully we create some good incentive structures here that makes a strong foundation for this token economy we're building.
Okay. Hopefully I can get behind all of those incentives and actually get a Clarity hoodie. There is a Clarity hoodie, right? There, you're not just teasing me.
Yeah, we're gonna put one on. It'll be just like a nice little hoodie with embroidered logo on it. I usually am wearing it, but I'm not right now.
Okay. All right. Great. Logan, this has been brilliant. I'm really excited for this launch. Good luck with the last final month of preparation and getting this all ready for your LBE and all that stuff. I know it's quite stressful to get this to this point and then finally launch as well. So good luck with all that. Is there any final words that you like to leave for the community?
No, I mean, I guess yes, but thank you guys for joining in and listening. It's truly been a labor of love and a long journey to get to this point. We really want to provide value and push decentralization into every project on Cardano. That's why we're doing this. And if you ever have any questions, if you ever want to meet up with us, just hop in our Discord, and we're always around. So thank you to the Cardano community for giving us all this support up to this point. And it should be an exciting few months ahead for us.
Again, thank you so much, Logan, for joining me on the episode. Really appreciate you taking some time out to actually get this interview done. Good luck with the launch. Like I said, it's coming up really soon. And for any of you out there that want to create a DAO, all the links down below for you guys so that you can get started, learn about how to use the platform. I have a full online course as well, which I've built for the team. So you can really dig into it and follow step by step how to create your DAO, how to do all the parts of it as well. It's really, really easy. It didn't take much for me to get up and running. Now, if you really enjoyed this episode, if you got something out of it, if you're going to build your own DAO on Clarity, put a comment down below, let me know. And also hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'll promise to give you so much more Cardano related content. I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.